Hey guys, it's Shelby and welcome to another anti-haul. I know this is some of your favorite videos, so we're gonna get into it. Well, I have a couple things to say first, but then we'll get into it. First of all, if you're new here, this is a disclaimer that you should hit the subscribe button, but also that these videos are not meant to be solution oriented. Basically, I have over 300 videos on my channel focused on solutions to be more sustainable in your lifestyle. But my anti-haul is basically just where I sit down and rant about some shit that bothers me that I think is wasteful, that I can hopefully jog your, thought process and start realizing that they're also wasteful and maybe you could be avoiding them as well. So while my anti-hauls are not solution based, a lot of people started asking me to provide solutions to the things I anti-haul. So I do post a blog post in conjunction with every anti-haul I do now. So you can check the link in the description if you want to know the alternatives to these wasteful things and how you can enjoy the basic feeling of whatever it is without being so wasteful. I did want to say that I've been getting a lot of requests for holiday related content. Definitely appreciate that. I would love to hear whatever suggestions you have, what you want to see. I want to make what you want to see. That's what I'm here for. But you should know that I have quite a few videos from past holiday seasons on my channel where I've made videos like the ones you guys are requesting. So you can request it, but I might respond to your requests with, hey, I already have that over here. Whenever I do anti-hauls, what I do is I go on Instagram and ask you guys what you want to see me anti-haul, and I go through all those responses and then I pick out a few of my favorites and I put them in this video. And I had literally a 50-50 split for people telling me to anti-haul real Christmas trees / real reefs, and 50% of people telling me to anti-haul plastic Christmas trees and plastic Christmas decor that looks like a tree essentially. And in my video, I'll link it here, where I talked about which one is more eco-friendly, a plastic Christmas tree or a real Christmas tree. It's not a one-to-one comparison. You're not comparing two equal things, if that makes sense. So it's kind of hard to give a definite answer as to which one is more eco-friendly. So I would love to hear in the comments before we jump into this video, which do you think is more eco-friendly? Growing a new tree every single year just to use it for a month and then basically getting rid of it. Most people don't compost them, so you could take that into account. Or buying one plastic Christmas tree, which for a lot of people lasts a very long time, but I'm sure for some people it doesn't. So I'd love to know in the comments what you think, because so many of you wanted me to anti-haul both, and I would just love to get a general consensus here in the comments. But one more order of business before we get started. This video is sponsored by an app called GoodWall. It's really interesting. We're going to talk about it a little bit more later. It's just a free app you can download. Click the link in the description. It is just a place where you can get yourself out there, market your skills. If you're a student or if you're looking for a job or if you're trying to change career paths, whatever it is, it's a really great app for you to get on and kind of build your profile, let people know what skills you have to help you network with those out there looking for someone like you. So I'll explain more about it a little bit later, because they're doing a special campaign where you can win $1,000 for proposing ideas for how to help fight climate change, and that's why they're sponsoring this video, so I can specifically talk about that really cool campaign they're doing. But like I said, we'll talk about it later. Let's get into the things we need to anti-haul. So first things first, during the holiday season, there is just so much stuff. Do you guys know that waste in the US increases 25% between Thanksgiving and Christmas? That gives me anxiety. But something that gives me even more anxiety is when people put microplastics, literal microplastics, on gifts, or they confetti it up into the air. Do you see where this is going? I would like to anti-haul glitter, specifically around this time of year. If you guys didn't know, glitter is literally plastic, and there's such small particles of plastic sometimes that they are able to make it straight through all of the filters that are supposed to stop it from making to our oceans, and it makes it to our oceans. And the problem with microplastics ending up in our oceans is something a little bit sciencey called bioaccumulation. So the smallest life forms that can eat that glitter will eat it, and then the bigger things eat them, and that plastic just moves up and up and up and up the food chain, which, if you don't know who's at the top of that food chain currently, that would be humans. Now, I know a lot of us on this channel don't eat fish. I respect that, obviously, but there are people who do, and if you're not worried about the people who are eating the fish because you just think they shouldn't be anyway, these are the things that run through my mind. But if you don't care about the people who you think shouldn't be eating the fish anyway, you should care about the fish, because they can't digest that plastic, and a lot of sea life ends up getting bellies full of plastic and dying literally from that. And microplastics are a really easy thing that makes it to the oceans without anything really being able to stop it. So I would like to anti-haul things like glitter, specifically during the holiday season, because it's something that people buy, put on their gifts, and then literally throw away and don't even think about the impact that it has. So this holiday season, please promise me that you will avoid plastic glitter. And check out the blog post if you want to hear about glitter that is not made from plastic. So some of you guys asked me to anti-haul moms who cook too much. Listen, I don't think we can anti-haul anybody's mom, but we can start to help our family understand that they're cooking way too much food, especially during the holiday season. If you've watched my videos before, I'm sure you can guess that my mother is one of those ones that cooks way too much food. And last time, I think I've said this in a video before, that we shouldn't be over making too much food. It's very wasteful. And a lot of people said, well, my family, they make too much food, but we always take it as leftovers. Yeah, I get that. I get wanting to have Thanksgiving leftovers the next day. I don't have a problem with leftovers. My problem is that even when you take things home as leftovers, a lot of times they end up getting thrown out, and that's incredibly wasteful to make food just to end up having to throw it out. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who experience this, which is why it got typed into the anti-haul question on Instagram so many times. So I would like to say, let's try to bring up the conversation with our friends and family this year about overcooking and wasting food. And also think about recommending a compost bin at your family gatherings. Now, we are going to continue with all of the wasteful things that happen during the holiday season, but you know what? What if we take a little break from the bad things that happen during the holiday season for me to tell you about an uplifting, positive thing with a message from GoodWall, which is the sponsor of today's video. So, like I said, GoodWall is an app that you can download, and then you can go in there and basically start marketing yourself. Whether you're starting a business, looking for employment, or even a scholarship for school, networking plays a huge part in helping those things come to fruition, obviously. And that's why I agreed to do this GoodWall sponsorship, because I know that when I was a student, the jobs that were out there on most job boards, on most websites and things like that, were not geared towards the more caveat type of jobs that I was going for. They were different and more creative, and especially obviously what I do now is more creative. So I wish that I would have had more options out there to know about how I could have done more training and had more opportunities that were different than just the same. So GoodWall's mission is to create an inclusive and supportive community for its users to truly connect with others on their shared interests, showcase your true selves, and discover opportunities such as scholarships, which I think is really, really important. That is one of my goals for 2020, to start my own scholarship, so stay tuned for that. So the campaign they're currently working on is called the Climate Action Campaign, and that has gone live on November 23rd, so it's all ready for you to go check it out. The goal of the campaign is to encourage users to post and share their climate actions with others in the community. Those topics could be anything from zero waste, doing a cleanup, your recycling, creating sustainable initiatives for large corporations, etc. All you gotta do is download the GoodWall app. Like I said, you create a profile and you'll start posting your climate actions. The most liked climate action will also be eligible for GoodWall's 2019 $1,000 Good Idea Award. So like I always say, I really, really appreciate when you guys support my sponsors that are completely free. So if you are a student, or if you're just interested in joining a community of people who care about climate change, specifically right now during this campaign would be a great time to go check it out. If you have any really creative ideas, which I'm sure I'm speaking to a lot of pretty creative people, as I know, definitely go and share your ideas. I would just really appreciate it if you check them out. Thank them so much for sponsoring this video with that little positivity break. And we'll get back into the things that are wasteful during the holiday season that you and I should be avoiding. And maybe some of these are great climate actions. Put a compost bin at your next family gathering and then put that on GoodWall. That's a climate action in and of itself. Do you know how many greenhouse gases are wasted when we let food decompose and not turn back into compost? It's mind-blowing. So it seems we're going to be talking about food a lot, which makes sense because that's what brings a lot of families together, you know, cooking and meals, and that's what a lot of people come together for. So obviously a lot of the waste that comes during the holiday season comes from food and food like packaging. So I wanted to anti-haul those little foil tin like casserole dishes, and also like the top tin foil that seems to be so prevalent during the holiday season. When that happened and why that happened, I don't understand. Like going out and spending money every single year on a disposable aluminum pan instead of just reusing one that you already had, it just doesn't really make sense to me. Especially when you consider that if you had one casserole dish and every year that you pull it out to make whatever dish you're making for Thanksgiving or Halloween, Do people make special dishes for Halloween? No, but whatever casserole dish, you pull out every year around that time would be like something that, feels cozy and like has nostalgia and that sort of thing. I just think that would be a really cool idea as opposed to throwing away an aluminum like tin tray every single year. So I would really like to anti-haul those. Let me know if your family uses those aluminum disposable ones or if you have a reusable one that you guys use year after year. But a lot of you wanted me to anti-haul those little foil pans. So if you didn't realize, I'm sure most people know this, but if you didn't know, you could just go get a reusable one. You probably already have one at home, actually, I'm sure. And you could use that instead. Okay, I fucking hate this one. So you guys have heard me anti-haul thank you cards before. I just think it's ridiculous for someone to be at your house when they give you a gift and you tell them thank you, and then you also have to ship a piece of paper in the mail, wasting greenhouse gases to tell them thank you again. It seems absolutely absurd to me, and as too does a fucking Christmas card. I think these bother me so much because I told my family I do not want your Christmas cards. They know I don't want the Christmas cards for several reasons. Obviously because it's wasteful to send me a card that's just gonna be hanging up, and it also has to be shipped, right? It's complicated to talk about the waste that comes with shipping because I think shipping is inevitable in our world for many reasons. But when it comes to a Christmas card, that just didn't need to be shipped in any shape or form. Also because the people who send me Christmas cards are the people I'm closest to in my family, and so therefore I'm going to see them at Thanksgiving. I'm going to see them at Christmas. I don't need you to send me a card. Just tell me when you see me. I literally cannot stand Christmas cards, but every year around, shortly after Thanksgiving, I get that text that says, "What's your address again?" Especially since I moved this year. And I always have a good idea that I know what it's for. So this year, maybe when someone asks, I just won't fucking tell them. I'll just be like, I don't know my address, you don't need to know it. So I'm just gonna forget you asked that question and pretend like you're not disregarding things I asked you not to do, not to send me. Aside from the waste that comes with shipping and the card itself, it's also just clutter. Like, I don't want your card cluttering up my house. I just truthfully don't. That stuff doesn't matter to me. I know that there might be people out there that like Christmas cards mean so much to them, maybe, I don't know. But for me, it's not joyous, and I don't want your Christmas card, so I'm anti-hauling Christmas cards. Do not send me one, please. I also just like hate how generic so many of them are. I'm still talking about it because I freaking hate them so much. Another thing that is incredibly frustrating to see so much around this time of year are gag gifts. Like, I just don't, it's so frustrating because I know people don't think about this, which is why I'm making this video. But if you really think about how many things go into creating whatever your gag gift is, like say it's a plastic whatever, because I have an example of a plastic something that I'll tell you about in just a second. But say it's a plastic beer mug. That plastic came from oil. If you guys didn't know, plastic made from petroleum. So in order to get that gag gift over to you, that oil had to be extracted from the environment, and then it had to be shipped somewhere to be processed, and then it had to be shipped somewhere else to be molded. While all of these processes are incredibly resource intensive, they take a lot of energy, use a lot of greenhouse gases, and etc. Then the item has to be shipped eventually again to the store where it's wrapped in probably plastic, and then sent to you or given to you as a gag gift to laugh about it for about 30 seconds before that item is either forgotten about or thrown in a closet somewhere. It makes me fucking mad, but I know that a lot of people just don't know. They don't understand that all of that happens, that it's incredibly wasteful, and that every single thing you buy has a significant carbon footprint and just like resource footprint. And I know a lot of people don't think about that, so that's why I'm talking about it today. But let me tell you about the stupidest gag gift I ever got that really pissed me off. When I turned 21, someone gave me this beer mug and it said, "Save the Earth. It's the only planet with beer." Do you know what I fucking hate? Beer. Do you know what I hate more than beer? Plastic. Why? I know they gave it to me because they think it's funny, but I don't fucking think it's funny, and I don't want to ever get another gag gift because someone thinks it's funny, and in order to not be rude, I have to pretend like I think it's funny or like it's okay that they did that. I don't ever want to have to do that again. So I would like to anti-haul gag gifts because they're incredibly wasteful and I freaking hate them. Let me know what the worst gag gift you ever got was. So we can anti-haul those too. Okay, we'll go through the other two pretty quickly, but do you guys know what spray snow is? When I say that word, all that comes to mind is toxic because it comes in like a spray can and it like chunks up to make it look like you have snow. Is this a common thing only in the South where we don't really get snow and people like really just want the holiday feeling and they need the fake snow to do it? Anyway, specifically right now I'm talking about the spray snow that you spray on things and then it looks like it's snow, but it's really just like toxic chemicals. What? When something has a label on it that says don't use around pets or babies or pregnant women, I don't really want to spray that in my house. Not only is that type of thing not good for us, but obviously it's not good for the environment and they're just wasteful little like spray things. I'm the Grinch. I should have said that in the beginning of all this. I am the literal Grinch. Nothing about the holiday season makes me excited. I think it's all just really wasteful and none of it is fun to me, especially spraying snow onto something. But I'd like to anti-haul the spray snow as well as the styrofoam snow that people like put in balls or just like it's everywhere. If you start looking, watch. If you never noticed it before, start looking for the spray snow and like the flaky snow that's like the little plastic flakes or the little styrofoam balls. You'll see it everywhere. Just wait. But I'm anti-hauling fake snow because it's wasteful and really harmful to the environment and also because I'm the Grinch. Now, you might have heard me rant about subscription boxes before because you're getting a box full of stuff that you don't know if you like it or if you want it at all. As someone who tries to think through their purchases very extensively, like I very much, even when something is an eco-friendly product and like meets all my standards, I constantly think about it, go back on it, put it on a list, rethink about it. Like it takes so much for me to actually buy something, and whenever I think about people buying things and they don't even know what they are, it doesn't make sense to me. So that's how I feel about subscription boxes, and I feel the exact same way about advent calendars, or at least the advent calendars that are like sold and like put out there by companies and you have no idea what's in them. Like I think there's a fun way to do an advent calendar, like if Madison made one for me and she knew to put like things I use every day in them or like things I loved, like someone you know curating an advent calendar for you that you know would be great, fine. That sounds amazing. But the ones that you just go and buy from a brand and then they have just like random shit in there, no, like just no. The thing is, not only is it wasteful because you're likely to get something that you don't want and you don't like, but then those items end up getting thrown out or just left sitting around until eventually they're thrown out. And I just think that's incredibly wasteful and unnecessary, and for me, it's not fun. I don't know, maybe it's a tradition for you, an advent calendar, just let me know in the comments, but I personally would like to anti-haul advent calendars. And it seems like many of you wanted me to anti-haul advent calendars as well. Alrighty guys, well those are most of the things I had written down to anti-haul. I might do another one later this month. If you want to leave your recommendations to holiday things you'd like to see anti-hauled, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to check out our sponsor GoodWall because it's completely free, and if you're in the market for a job or a scholarship, if you're a student, etc., it's a great place for you to display all of your skills and also possibly win $1,000 just by sharing actions you're doing to help the climate already anyway. So make sure you check them out. Thank them so much for sponsoring this video. Hope you're having an awesome holiday season so far, and you can also let me know what holiday content you want to see. Let me know all of the things in the comments. I love you, and remember, until next time, you cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good that you could do because there are people out there putting glitter on their fucking presents.